my biggest single investment in over a decade. Hi, I'm John McNeil, and this is the Invest Strong Network. Welcome. So just recently, I have been faced with a dilemma. Over the past few months, cash had begun to accumulate in my bank accounts. Now, a question then becomes, well, what do I do with this sudden cash hoard? Well, there's always the equity markets. And in fact, I have made some stock purchases, and I'll be detailing that in a future video. But also, I had other choices. Crypto, no thanks. Bonds, no thanks. And physical real estate. Well, kicked around that idea, but held off for the moment. But there was the crowdfunding for real estate platform, Groundfloor. Now, for any Invest Strong viewer, they'll know that since the late summer, early fall of 2018, I have used the Groundfloor crowdfunding for real estate site to invest in various flip projects. Now, flip projects are such that Groundfloor, they will receive money from the crowd, right? They'll basically hand the money over to developers. The developers take the funds. They will either develop or redevelop a property, then turn around and sell it, a flip. And after the liquidation of said property, the investors are repaid in full, and with a prescribed amount of interest included, they'll get that back. And since I've been doing this over the course of many dozens of projects, I've been able to secure about a little over 8% year-over-year annual return from doing this, right? So, okay, that's been pretty cool since 2018. Now, in the latter few years, Groundfloor has begun to expand into the secured notes structure. So what are secured notes? Well, when I use the term secured, it's very important to understand these notes are not FDIC insured. Very, very important to understand that. And certainly I understood it, right? These notes are not backed by the government. They are not insured in that sense. They are secured in the sense that there are physical, tangible assets that back them up. So Groundfloor will put out the notes. You'll purchase the notes. They'll take the notes, the funds from the notes, and they'll normally use those funds to move into a new geographic area and to begin to get projects going in that new nascent geographic area. Now, I have in fact purchased a number of notes from Groundfloor over the last 2-3 years. Most of the notes were in the 3 months to 6 month range, and they would yield an interest rate of between 5 and 7% annual, right? So, okay, decent, right? The investment that I made this week, however, takes this to an entirely different level. So this is a very special 10-year anniversary note, at least that's the way Groundfloor is marketing it, of 1 year, 12 months, and 10% secured. Now, that is something that would be a no-brainer in any other situation, right? 12 months, 10% secured return. Why, that's far better even than the 8.15% year-over-year return that I've gotten from investing in these flip projects, right? And the fact that the note is secured why, that just makes it easy breezy to go with. Well, not so fast. There are, in fact, risks, real tangible risks in doing this. Now, I have put $32,000 into this note, right? And that is the largest single investment I've made since I actually purchased my home, which doubles as a bed and breakfast, back in 2012. So, it won't, the loss of $32,000 won't put Brother John on the street, but hey, that's a fair chunk of change. And I certainly don't want to see anything bad happen to it, right? But so what are the risks? Well, the risk is something like this. The primary risk in the note is the risk to Groundfloor as an enterprise, right? Because they're the issuer of the note. So if Groundfloor collapses, for whatever reason, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Certainly I don't, know what's going on behind the scenes at Groundfloor. But if Groundfloor should happen to collapse and become illiquid, then it slides into bankruptcy. And then a bankruptcy court, has to come in and figure out who gets what from the assets that remain. So if that's the case, then some, most, or even all in a catastrophic situation of the 32,000 could be lost. Now, I'm going to say that that's not going to happen. But, as we have discovered in just the last few weeks in the United States of America, where financial institutions that look to be solid and fully liquid have all of a sudden, gone belly up and had to be taken over by the government. Well, at least those depositors, most of them, had FDIC insurance on their accounts and they got their money back. But in this instance, that would not be the case. There is always that risk. Now, when you look at the term of the note, it says it is a 12-month term. Now, I made my investment, and this is early April of 2023. So the actual term does not run from the date of investment into exactly 12 months in the future. No. So they accumulate these funds on the note sales until the particular project is fully funded. And then at that point, the note begins to pay interest. So that may be a couple of months or so in the future. That's when it'll fully fund and the interest counter begins. And then it's 12 months after that point that the note fully secures, right? So basically I have between 12 and 14 months to go in this project. Now, like I said, I feel good about it, right? I think this is a masterstroke and I feel really great. But this is the United States of America. We are living in the 2020s. Anything is possible, for heaven's sakes, right? So what I'll do is I will keep you informed, keep you aware of how things go with this investment in the secured note. And I'll just basically let you know, how it all pans out. But for right here and right now, I feel great about it. All right. So those are my thoughts for this week. If you found them interesting and informative, hit that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. Also, let me know what your thoughts are on secured notes. If you've ever purchased any, how have they turned out? I would just love to know. Also, subscribe to Invest Strong. Do it for, a huge return over the next 12 months. Secured. No, not really secured, but secured in the good knowledge. All right. Thank you so much, friends, and good blessings.